Well, it's a bit of a blustery day here today, and I'm doing this video for people that like to breathe new life into old homes. And I've done it myself. I've flipped a couple of houses. We were in the process of adoption, and it was a good way to make some money. And 20 years ago, pretty near now. But today's home inspection, I'm looking at a home that's been renovated by someone, and frankly, I'm impressed. They've done really good work, from what I can tell. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's a lipstick on a pig, and I can pick up on that. But in this house, I was pretty impressed. It looked like it was a good job. Now, I got to the end of the inspection, and I did the sewer scope, and that's where I found the problem. And I often find this problem. So if you're thinking about flipping a house, get a sewer scope done. Find out first if you're going to have problems with the sewer line, because in this case, I suspect that the buyer doesn't want to deal with the sewer line issue. So that's going to be some negotiating point between the buyer and the seller, I suspect. So I won't post this video until I know that the deal has progressed whatever way it's going to. But if you're flipping a house and you think you're going to make a certain profit, and then the home inspector comes and does a sewer scope, and you find out, no, I'm going to be $5,000 difference, let's say, that's disappointing. It's a lot more blustery for this guy than it is for me today, I'm sure, because when he finds out the sewer line is not in good shape, he's not going to be happy. So if you're thinking about flipping a house, make sure that you do your due diligence. I'm not suggesting you have to get a home inspection for every time, because people that flip houses are generally pretty good at this. But they don't always know what they're going to get into. I personally think you should get a home inspection to find out if there's vermiculite, asbestos, and that sort of thing. And if somebody's going to climb in the attic to see if there's any structural problems and so on. But again, this guy has done a good job. I'll show you the yard here a little. So, they've even gone to the extent of cleaning up the yard, I suspect. And it might have been like this before they renovated, but probably not. So he's gone to the trouble of pouring new walkways and so on. What happens if that sewer line is under that walkway? Now they got to tear that walkway out. I suspect it's not, but it could be. I think it's going to be over here further. But again, do your due diligence, save yourself the headache. It's not the end of the world if you have to dig up the sewer line, but if you do, and you know about it, then you can negotiate that into the price, or at least be prepared for a price reduction when you go to sell the house, which is often the case, is what happens. So that's my tip for people who like to flip houses. And again, I appreciate people who do this, because they take an old house and they give it lots of new life. And if it's done well, it basically brings that old house back into life. So again, I try not to identify the house any more than I have to during these types of videos, but I like to share my thoughts on these things and help people out, whether you're the seller or the buyer. Thanks for watching another home hint from Border Home Inspection.